I feel like today might be the day.
I feel like you're reaching, Louise.
Roland? Knocking on Roland's room.
I don't want him to be there, Louise. Well, I do want him to be there. I want him to be there in a trap. I just don't want him to be there sitting there looking at me. Right, you looking at the traps?
No, he's not in that one. And he's not in that one either. He evades us still.
Oh, Louise, how many days has it been now?
Enough.
It's not funny. It's not.
A few weeks ago, you may remember that I mentioned we had something living in the bathroom roof, and in my romantic notion, I thought it was the pine marten. We was going to have this lovely animals of firewood vibe. We was going to live at one with the pine marten, but no, it's a great big rat, isn't it?
It's a very big rat. Well, that's a big rat because, in my wisdom, as I'm doing like answering comments on the toilet as I always do, I hear like this little scurrying and stuff, and I'm like, I tell you what, that sounds like he's in the airing cupboard. Let's go and have a look. And I don't know why, genuinely, why I opened up that door and thought that was a good idea. I don't know, because I opened up the door, sitting at the bottom, sitting there looking at me, was this big fat rat, and I was like, okay, let's close that door.
And the big fat rat has evaded us ever since. Obviously, we're trying to humanely. We don't want to do poison. We just don't. If you know the channel, you know we're wildlife lovers. And Roland's probably been here longer than us, but we're trying to catch him humanely. But he's not falling for these. He's a clever rat. So
he's either really clever or really bloody stupid.
No, he's just not that hungry because he's had all the rubbish out your bins, or your
yes.
Christmas rubbish he's had out the bins.
So we don't get our rubbish collected here. I have to go and take it away, and I bought a container to put the rubbish in. A little bit like, you know, your wheelie bins and stuff that you would have like back in the UK, or if you was to be able to get rubbish taken away here. And it was all fine, all dandy. I goes away to New York because I didn't clear out the rubbish.
Flipping out, this is going anyway. The rat had eaten his way through Emily's rubbish box.
I'm having sleepless nights about this rat, Louise.
So we're going to have a look now. We think he's nesting. So this is the bathroom. He's nesting up here somewhere. We think somewhere in this roof, and the airing cupboard, which is this that backs onto it, is his scurry in and out. He's also chewed up half the insulation from under the bath for its nest. So there is, or will be soon, babies. We think.
I do not want rat babies.
She doesn't want rat babies. So I was going to take the roof down. Obviously, I already have a hole in it there. Would have been great access, and see if I could find it. But then it occurred to me, if I do that and Roland and all his rat babies fall down, it's just going to be.
Oh my god!
It's just going to be carnage. So we're going to attempt to. So it's just a flat roof. I don't think there's any insulation, and there's probably only 2 wires I need to worry about, I think. So I'm going to go up and see if I can get a bit of the corrugate off. And see if I can have a look in there.
I just don't understand what you think you're going to do I don't know what you think you're going to achieve by doing that.
Evict him.
But how?
We'll put him in a bucket and take him miles away.
You think you're going to catch him?
Well, I could at least disturb the nest and he might not come back.
No, they are excellent mothers. I have done a lot of research on old Roland.
They're excellent mothers, Louise. Once you disturb the nest, if you don't clear that out...
Right, okay.
They will...
I was going for a nice quick intro. Happy New Year. We're 3 minutes 40 in. This is going to be an excellent opportunity for high-pitched Emily. We're starting the new year with a bang, folks. I see plenty of opportunity for high-pitched Emily. Right, ladders. Let's just have a look and assess. Well, we're not catching him any other way. I'm not poisoning him. Are you going to foot this ladder? The rat can't get you yet. I haven't taken the roof off. I think it's so cold and slippy.
Yes, please be careful.
So I was hoping I could just pop off this corrugate. Down there it looks quite easy, but as we come up to this end, it's sitting underneath the render. So I might be able to lift one end. No, you're not feeling it?
Look, there will come a point, Louise, where we don't want to poison him because that's not thingy, but maybe snap traps.
No, I'm not doing it. This has become a one-woman mission to save Roland's life. I would imagine only 4% of our subscribers are with me and the other 96 are probably with Emily, but we've got to give it a go. I'm going to try and get these out. I'm not going to go straight in with the drill because, as you can see, it's very cold. Look, our guttering's even, well, it's not even effectively working, but it's all frozen. I don't want to snap them because it's so cold, so I'm just trying to... It's that cold I can't speak.
It is pretty chilly, to be fair.
I'm just gonna open them up and then see if I can lift it and at least get a look, see what we're dealing with, whether it's one rat or a plethora of baby rats.
They do say like up to 10 to 12 rats live together.
Colonised.
Louise, I don't see why you think it's fine
Yeah, I need the ratchet. It's too freaking cold for a screwdriver.
Where do we put
Too cold for screwing.
Where do we... Louise.
It's in the I don't know wherever you tidied it away.
Well, we don't know, do we?
We never know where you tied it away. This is good because I'll be able to get a look at the wall makeup for this this extension. So I don't think that it's insulated in any way. I think it might be laid block and flat. So if you don't know what that is, it means the breeze blocks, instead of stacking on top of each other that way, I think they're stacked up that way, which is very, very strong and probably holding this half of the house up. But it means there's no insulation, so I can have a look and then figure out how we're going to insulate this in the future, because it would be nice if we had a slightly warmer bathroom.
No, it's not like I just want him to die.
That one lives in the van. I know you don't want him to die. Of all our trials and tribulations we've shown on the channel, do you think this is your most stressful so far?
Without a doubt, yeah.
More stressful than breaking down in Spain and having to drive back in a pandemic?
Yeah, yeah. Because I don't want rat babies. I don't want to be infested.
We're infested with bloody goldfinches at the minute.
This yours is so necky as well.
Not the rat.
Yeah. Like we're in there making noises and stuff, and he's like, meh, 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 meh.
What's its homeland? Oh, there's another one. For God's sake. So the problem I have with this house, well, it's not really a problem. It's just a thing. Everything that's been done has been done really well to a proper standard. So even like when I was taking the dry lining out, all the stud walls were built really well. So whenever I need to take something apart, it's an absolute nightmare. But it's no bad thing. But we have the roof flapping around. This is our corrugate that had hundreds of bloody fixings in it. But as you can see under there, it was originally felt at some point, but Ratty lives up in that top corner, so I'm gonna have to go up, get some gloves, some proper gloves, and see if we can see his little house. Based on all of Emily's research that she's done about the rat, she hasn't done a single bit of research about renovating a stone cottage or building a cabin or anything else, but based on the hours of research she's done about the rat, she reckons it's gonna attack me if I unearth it, so the health and safety police are making me wear my strimmer mask.
That's right.
For protection.
Yes, because they do. When they feel threatened, they're not like mice. They won't run. They will stand there. But when they feel threatened, they will attack you, Louise.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Never mind that I can't flip and see what I'm doing.
Well, look, do it at your own peril.
At your own peril?
Yeah.
What if he comes up in here?
Oh, God, that would be horrendous, wouldn't it? Oh, Louise. Oh, God. No Roland.
I can't see Roland.
Where the f is Roland? There's no babies in there. Let's evacuate the nest.
Well, I can't get to the nest. There's something in the way that I can't see over and past. I can just see the polystyrene leading up to it. Definite rat poo, definite rat pee. So I can see all the nesting material, but I can't see Roland. The big problem is there's snow in the forecast and we're not sure where it's coming. There's a huge dumping and we don't know if it's going to hit us, but even if it doesn't hit us, it will probably come as rain. So really I need to take that whole sheet of corrugate off so I can properly get a proper look and evict the nests, but I just don't think that's a good idea today with the snow and rain on its way. But he's definitely living up there. He's definitely got a nest in formation. So the problem we've got and the reason we need to catch him is because I can't block his roots in. There's I don't know how much of that you can see. There's a root in there that goes into the airing cupboard, and then up there there's a whole another hole that goes through, and there's just holes all over the place that if I try and block, well, I'd never successfully block them all up. And then roots into the house, there's hundreds. He can come in through patio doors, he could come through the shed, he could come in through the hole in the wall up there. It's just too much to try and block his way in and out, so we do need to get him. And I really, really want to get him safely, but it's looking less and less likely. But with the snow coming, I think I'll re-secure that roof. We'll give the traps another couple of days, and then we'll wait for a break in the weather, and then maybe have to take the whole roof off, which would be an absolute flipping nightmare. And like I said, I don't really want to do it from inside if I can avoid it, because it'll render our bathroom useless. And I don't want to renovate the bathroom yet. I want to get the cabin finished and the barn finished. I want a section, something at least finished, rather than everything half started. But yeah, I think dropping this down is just going to be, well, a last resort, I think. I think evicting him today is going to be a no-go. I think you're going to have to go a couple more days and hope for your traps get him.
I'm saying nothing, Louise.
And then in a couple of days, when they give drier weather,
and the babies are born.
We'll evict them all at one go. Well, if I take the roof off today, it's going to snow.
I know, I'm not disputing that, Louise.
And then you'll be bitching and moaning, can't have a bath.
I'm just saying that he's got a few more days, that's it. That's it, Louise, that's it.
Says the vegetarian.
I don't want him to die, but I don't want to be infested with rats, Louise. It's horrible enough being in a bath and knowing that he's underneath there.
Yeah, sometimes when you're in the bath or in the shower, you can hear him scurrying around underneath you. So
Literally, I was in the bath last night and he was above my head where we've got the bag and he could just come through.
through the B&M bag that's over the hole in the roof. Ah, living in the country. It's a dream.
No, Louise.
The reason I think Roland has moved in above the bathroom is because we've got the heating on. I had to put an electric fire in there to keep it warm. The reason being is obviously, as you can see, it's very, very cold, and I'm worried about the pipes freezing, so the house isn't heated or lived in at the minute, but we need to keep the water on so that we can fill up the van and carry on living comfortably in there. So I just was trying to stop the pipes freezing, but I think it's attracted rats. Sorry, buddy. They're talking too much about Roland. He's like, stop talking about rats. We all know I'm everyone's favourite animal on this channel. Yes, you are, bud. Yes, you are. You can't eat, that's birdseed. No, that's birdseed. You don't like birdseed. You don't, I promise. You like steaks. So the birds are eating us out of house and home at the minute. The goldfinches in particular are very angry if the feeders aren't topped up. In fact, they're just angry all the time. So yeah, twice a day we have to top the feeders up. I'll need to build another feeding station. But on to more positive news. As you can see, we've bodge fixed the barn. So if you've been following along, Storm Dara took out this barn roof. It's very rotten in places anyway, the timber, so it all needs doing. But yeah, Storm Dara did give it a quiet going over, and it was very flippy flappy. But during the Christmas break, Emily and I got up there, we got the van in underneath the barn. It was an absolute nightmare, and to be honest, it's made me realise how difficult it is going to be fixing all that up, mainly because of the weight of it. So I had to jack these up from underneath with these long uprights. They don't need to be, I just thought, well, there's no point in me cutting them, I might as well leave them in place. Screwed them across there. I've put a new supporting piece on there, on that back iron support, and then that's supporting this cross member, that cross member there. And then, yeah, I've made up some angle brackets. I don't know if you can see from down here, some angle brackets holding that all together. And then where the purlins have all snapped, I've gone along and braced all the purlins and put some new uprights there. But the good news is we've had some strong... You all right, bud? You fall over? You fall over. Sorry. We've had some strong winds since, and it doesn't move. So I think it's going to hold out until we can get the cabin finished. I'd like to finish the cabin, finish the barn, so that's this whole section done before we move back into the house when it's slightly warmer and we can start repointing again and get the walls secure and all the holes blocked up so Roland's can stop getting in. So a lot of you message and say, oh yeah, I'm going to sell my house and move out to the country like you've done. It's great, we absolutely love it, but you have to love it because this stuff is constant. There's no, like we took a week off over Christmas, but there's constantly things that just need fixing, maintaining, evicting, looking after, feeding. It is just, yeah, and then because we're semi-off-grid, there's all of that, like the stove's coming, so Emily spent yesterday topping up all of our resources, so she's filled up the van with water in case it does freeze, gone out and got a load of food in case we get blocked in. The snow won't be a problem, but if winds come, trees and stuff come down and you can't get out of the road. So there's a lot to consider every day living like this. But yeah, we do absolutely love it because just look at where we live. What's that? Where you going? What'd you say?
Just off to feed Roland.
Whenever you get the rubbish out, it's his dinner time, is it?
Honestly, I was scared to God, please. I like rats. I'd have a rat as like a pet and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not averse to that. I just don't want. Like, you can control it when it's your pet, but when it's just free roaming.
Roland's freelance.
Roland is freelance.
I've secured up the roof, put it back together for now to get us through this next batch of snow, stroke rain, stroke sleet, whatever arrives. Yeah, and then we'll move on to another project, or maybe we'll take the afternoon. We're going to get the cabin ready. So we built the cabin just before Christmas. We've had a lovely time in it over Christmas. We had some friends, Jackie and Laura came over from Brownbird. We've had a great time in the cabin. It's been ideal for Christmas, but it does need sort of emptying out now so we can actually finish it because it's very much cobbled together inside. Oh, AJ absolutely loves the cabin. We can't keep him out of it, can we? He whinges to leave the van and come into the cabin.
Honestly, it's ridiculous. He absolutely loves it.
It's a bit of a mess.
Straight to his toy box, look.
It's still from Christmas. There's some extra gas we picked up for the next few days because it's good. That's why he loves it, because he's got his toy box.
Yeah, honestly, straight to the toy box. He's living his best life at the minute.
Yes, so we need to get all of this out so that we can varnish the floor, we can finish the walls, we need to insulate the ceiling, we need to clad the ceiling, so there's a lot to do. We was going to start it now, but look how happy everyone. I think we should have one more night in the cabin before
One more night in the cabin, yeah, just one more night, and I'll start tidying up whilst we're in here later.
So that's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow.
We're being lazy.
We're being lazy. We're still recovering from building the bloody thing, which was a mammoth task, wasn't it?
It was indeed. And I just want one more night of enjoyment.
And we might as well see what this weather throws at us first, and then
Yeah.
we'll pick this up. So we'll see you in the morning.
I think it's finished.
I think it needs a lot more doing. Right then, where do you want to start? I'm not going to lie to you folks, I think we're in that post-Christmas slump where it's very hard to get going again, but we do need to get motivated. Oh, there's light. We do need to get motivated because, so if you don't know, we built this cabin for several reasons. One of those being so our dog had more space, another reason so we was a bit more comfortable here in the winter, and one of the main reasons is so we can get all of our crap out of the house and into somewhere dry and not damp and warm and lovely, because one, our stuff's getting damp. Two, we now have rodents in there, and three, so because we're going to take down, there's a partition wall between the main house and the bedroom that has a double chimney and a weird triangle shape. You've all seen it. That's going to be coming down. Desi, our contractor, has just been in touch. He's coming very, very soon. So we need to get this ready quickly to take our stuff.
We need to get out of this slump, Louise, and start getting motivated.
Do some work. Right then, this is how we left it, an absolute hovel. So the plan of action...
My life choices there.
Well, leaving it like that.
Yeah.
So the plan for today is to get all that out and at least get the floor down and maybe start insulating the ceiling.
Yeah, we can do this, Louise.
Well, at
We've
least
got
Desi
this.
coming has focused us.
Well, yeah, exactly, because we've got to now, so...
There were so many different things to do that it was like, well, where do we start? And especially with the added problem of the rat and whatnot, that's now like major priority one. But at least with Desi coming, we know we've got to get this done, so we can get the house cleared out, get the house prepped, and get the inside of this finished, and then move on to the outside, I think.
I was a highway, you were on a joyride, always driving like you were running from something. You got me high, stayed up until the sunrise, told me it was love, then you left me with nothing. Changing your mind quick, making me car sick. Yeah, we crashed and my heart took a bad hit. I was a highway, you were on a joyride, now I'm wishing I could have seen all the signs. Could have sworn I heard you tell me we were on the same page. But baby, I was hearing things while you were switching lanes. We were going so fast that the lines were only blurry. Didn't stop to realize that you could hurt me. I think that I would have died to call you mine, call you mine.
Emily was very specific that I filmed this bit because you got really good at screwing, didn't you? She was like, I've got so good at screwing. And famously, when we built our van, Emily was not so good at screwing, but now you're like half pro, aren't you? She was like, make sure you film me screwing so people can see that I can screw
I'd say
stuff.
I was quarter pro, Louise. I'm not even half yet. It's a hit and miss every now and then. I just do this cabin build by myself.
Anyway, the floor is going in, not a lot of room in there, but we can't get everything out. I'll show you our current problem. So this is all the stuff that's come out the room is just on the floor there. And what we're trying to do is get to a point where we've got some space to actually, look, let me show you through here. And if you can see, but this is all of our offcuts, rubbish, bits of insulation, all kinds of crap in there. And if we run down to the shed, there's the remainder. It's going to be a bit dark, so I apologise for that. But there's the remainder of the flooring, some more 4x2s. A couple more rafters that I need to finish off the roof. So this is a mess. And then we can't yet store anything in the house because the house is still full of insulation for the roof. So the plan is to get that storage room sorted, get as much materials used up as we can so we can get reorganised and reset for the upcoming year, because at the minute we're in a right mess. Getting a bit warm in here, are we, Geppetto?
Geppetto, such a little dick.
Shadows gone with summer skies, pulled me in under its eyes. A new city to get lost in, always wanted to see Austin. Heard you running round again,
Now, while Emily's finishing up the floor, I am getting the roof ready for insulation. Now, I've mentioned a couple of times whilst building this cabin that I was undecided on between a warm roof and a cold roof. Now, I originally designed it with a warm roof in mind, but I think I'm going to be going for a cold roof, which is why we're drilling ridiculous holes into these noggins here. Now, if you don't know the difference, a warm roof, the insulation sits on top of the roof deck, and a cold roof, the insulation would sit here in between the rafters, which means if I do that, I need a, a ventilation void above. Now, because I designed it with warm roof in mind, I've just used the same 9x2s for the noggins. Now, noggins are important, you have to have them. The reason being that if these rafters or in your walls, say, or your floor even, if the joists or the rafters or the studs for your walls twist, which they will, especially over a timber this size, they'll twist and warp and bend, then your ceiling covering or your wall covering, so your plasterboard usually, or your cladding, will twist and bend and crack with it. And with plasterboard, it's a real problem because you end up with horrible little cracks all the way along. And if you have it skimmed, it's even worse because then you get cracks in the plaster. So noggins are vital, but in a cold roof where I need the ventilation, my noggin should be smaller than my rafters. Now, because I'm having a warm roof, I didn't do that. So unfortunately now I'm having to create an after the fact ventilation void. Now, as you can see, it certainly isn't pretty, but it doesn't matter because no one will ever see this until it comes down and they'll go, what the hell was whoever built this thinking? But I don't want to replace them with something like 5x2s or 4x2s because it's just a waste of timber and getting these noggins out. Now they've got, I think I put 90mm nails in these, so it'll be a nightmare. So we're just going to create this ventilation void. So basically the insulation will sit here up to about here, and then there'll be a soffit on either end of the building, facing a soffit, and then with vents, and that will allow cross flow of air to come through and take away any moisture, and moisture will definitely build up. Let me show you. Also, it's snowing, which is fantastic. I love the snow, but it's very cold and I'm stretching and reaching because I'm having to use the short ladder because I left my long ladder up by the roof and it's now frozen, so very slippy. So yeah, I'm a bit out of breath, apologies for that, but we'll have a look in here. So this is our back wall, and I don't know how much you can see, but we have caused ourselves a major problem. So it's frozen at the minute actually, so up here, I don't know if you can see, all up there is frozen with water and moisture, and I don't know if you can see on the tarp, it's collected there, and that is because we moved in too soon. You can also see it here around the small window. So this is the small window that's going to be in the storage room, and I don't know if you can see how quickly mould is starting to form and spore. What we've essentially done is create a cold void and a warm void. So if you remember, we had this room, so we had a OSB over the door there, and then we put some insulation in these places here, and then we're using, or we've been using, a gas fire to heat the space. Now, gas produces a very moist heat, which is why I prefer a diesel heater in the van because it's a much drier heat. But basically we had a warm room and a cold room. Now the warm air from this room has to go somewhere, and it will gravitate towards the cold, and wherever the cold is, it will condensate, which it's done in that roof area up there. Hopefully I can take the tarp down, get some ventilation going and get that dried out, so I hope it's not going to be too much of a problem. Certainly don't want to replace it. I don't think I have to. I think the OSB will cope being damp for the week that it's been damp, but yeah, it is because we moved in too soon before it's finished. Unfortunately, it has caused that problem, but it's why I'm always going on about in the house, I don't want to plasterboard, create a cavity and then have the stone walls because I can't ventilate the cavity, and you see how quick that's built up. That's just 1 week, and we're no cooking in here, no shower in here, none of the things that produce lots and lots of steam and moisture, and already we've got that amount of damp, so you can imagine how much would grow between a plasterboard, an unvented cavity, and a very cold stone wall, which would be cold because that wouldn't be heated because the heat would be the wrong side of the plasterboard. So I hope that makes sense. As to why I've changed my mind and going for a cold roof, I'll explain all that when we come to do the roofing video. I think that'll be a more appropriate place for it rather than just cobbled in this random rat catching video that we've got going on now. Now I knew when we done it we'd get a level of condensation between the tarp and the timber. I didn't realise it'd be that much. It has been very, very cold this winter period, so overnight we're like -4, so some nights we've been sat in here it's -3, -4 outside degrees Celsius, and we've been running it at like 18, 19 degrees in here, so quite a big temperature difference, so lots of potential for condensation and moisture build up, but we do need to get that rectified, ASAP, as well as get this place ready for all the stuff from the house to come into ASAP, because that wall is coming down very, very soon. So, excuse me, I think I'm getting a bloody cold as well. So we need to get wriggle on.
Wake up, I'm about to shake up every little thing, show you all that we can be. I'm dancing with glow. Fireflies in the yard, everything's a work of art. Already got everything we need to dance in the glow. It's always in my head, you never get enough. That's how I'm feeling love. Me and my friends dancing till we drop, and the good times don't stop. The good times don't stop.
I'm just chilling with my insulation.
With you what now? What you got?
Shut up.
Got some insulation.
Insulation. Anyway,
what
I'm not going to try and...
Use the saw. Oh, you can show everyone your sawing.
But I'm going to put a disclaimer. If my sawing doesn't go well, that's because I've never sawed this before.
What have you never sawed before?
This
What is it?
stuff. Wait a minute. Go on, cut your bait. Oh, look at that! Beaut.
Oh, go on then, crack on. You can do the rest of it.
Whatever, Louise. I'm on clean-up crew. Clean-up crew's busy.
Also, our snow's melted. Our snow was melting quicker than it was laying, so it nearly came. We nearly got some snow, didn't we?
Nearly, but just not quite.
It's not quite been the start of the year as what I was expecting. To be honest with you, I completely forgot we was taking down that wall early in the year. So I was expecting, after the mad dash at the end of last year, I was expecting a nice easy start to this year. But with Ratty McRattison and the mad rush to get in there for when Desi comes, we're now under pressure immediately, aren't we?
We are, yeah. It just, do you know what? It doesn't stop actually, it just keeps going. But
2025, we go again. Just so you know what we've got coming up. First of all, we was planning on doing a
Q&A?
cabin build Q&A. We're not going to get time to sit down and film that, so instead we're going to do it live this coming Sunday, 8 PM UK and Irish time. Which is the same as Portuguese time, and I don't know what time zone that is for the rest of the world, so you'll have to have a look. But yeah, we'll be doing that. So we've got all your cabin build questions that you sent through, so thank you for those. But we will also then do a free ball and just answer loads of random questions, won't we?
yeah, so yeah, come and join us on our little live.
So that'll be Sunday, 8 o'clock. For the rest of the year then, so in the immediate, we are going to finish the cabin, so we've still got a... So I'm going to put the camera down because we need to get our ducks in a row, don't we?
We do, yeah, because we actually genuinely are under a little bit of pressure.
Under a lot of pressure. So for the ceiling's coming along, but it's taking its time. So we're going to insulate the ceiling, get this ready for internal decorating, and then come back to the cabin build. And then of course I've got all the external cladding to do, which I'm very excited about, to use that Waney Head larch. And the roof, obviously we need to put the roof on, so we'll make videos on all of those.
Yep.
And then in between all that, we'll be moving straight back onto the inside of the cottage to take down that wall and see what's behind that bloody triangle chimney.
That's quite exciting.
Yes, we'll be attempting to catch and free Roland humanely. So that's going to be, I'm sure that'll be highly comical, because Roland seems to be quite smart and he's evading.
Roland? Don't get me started on Roland. I'm putting in fresh bacon for him like every hour or so, but he's not having none of it.
The vegetarian's now cooking bacon for our resident rat. So yeah, we're going to try and catch Roland, take that wall down, clear out the house, and then in the spring, hopefully when the temperature comes up, we can crack on with the repointing of the cottage. And then this year we'd like to get the new floor in, potentially a new roof, although it doesn't need it, but we may well be re-roofing it. Move on to the roof in the snug. And then, yeah, just get as far as we can into the cottage before the next winter comes. So there's a lot to come, isn't there? Oh, and we also want to squeeze in a couple of little test van life trips. We're not sure how they're going to be with AJ.
Yeah, because we do have to be, like, everyone says about a ramp and stuff like that. Yeah, we can get a ramp and stuff for it, but we've also got to be careful because of summer and new places. And anyway, there's loads of things to consider about getting him in and out of the van and stuff, isn't there?
Yes, so for those of you missing the van life content, there will be some coming. Whether it goes well or not, we don't know. And on that note, we will see you all on Sunday, live, hopefully from inside this cabin, but we'll do our best and we'll see how that goes. Because it's very cold in here at the moment.
Yeah, definitely with all the windows and doors open.
Right, see you Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.
Honestly, I'll take over your job soon, Louise, so I can
Crack on. You can crack on.
Can't wait to see you cooking.